Hey guys, it's me, Sonic56, and like I said in that last video, the Ouya controller review, I was gonna make a console review later, and yeah, I finally got time to do it. And yeah, let's get to it. So this is the Ouya. As you can tell, it's a little set-top box looking thing, and yeah, it's got a really unique history behind it. It was conceived by Julie Ehrman, and it was designed to be an affordable Android device for your TV. And many things have come after that, but it was a success on Kickstarter. Actually, I mean, it raised way over its original goal, making it was one of the most successful products on there. I think it was like number 3 or number 4. But yeah. However, whenever it came out, though, it really didn't sell as well. It wasn't. I mean, it maybe sold well in the first week, but that was it. For some reason, the hype of it just died, like right after that first week in June when it came out. I think it was June. It was either June or July. But yeah, and ever since, it really hasn't become that popular. I think they haven't released a sales number, but I believe it's like 1.5 million, so it's not very popular. It was very buggy at launch. Like, before 2013, they had like the Kickstarter. Well, actually, the people who funded it on Kickstarter didn't get it until 2013. But they had like the they had the dev kits, and it was plastic, it was clear and everything. You've probably seen pictures of those, and it had a lot of problems. The controller was way worse than what it is now, and yeah, the UI was very slow. It had really this version still does have kind of bad connection problems. It just had a lot of it had a lot of issues. It was a good idea, but it wasn't done well at first. But yeah, people still see it as like a bad platform, but in my opinion, I think it's a pretty decent platform. It's really just the lack of support from other developers that's really killing this thing. It all goes back to the people themselves, though. The consumer. If they would see this, oh, look, this looks really cool, I'm going to buy it. If more people bought this thing, more developers would come, and when more developers come, more game, which means this thing would do better. And in turns, more people would come. So it's like a scale, or no, a chart, basically, like the waters, whatever it's called. Oh, God. It's like a big process, pretty much. And, yeah. Well, anyway, you're probably wondering how big. If you haven't seen one of these things, you're probably wondering how big it is. I mean, if you see like pictures of it, you probably think it's like really small, but actually, it's about the size of what I'm going to show you. It's about the. It's actually a little bit smaller than a coffee mug, but it's somewhere around that size. I mean, you can see it even in at light, but you can tell it's a pretty small machine. I think it's about 2 pounds. Actually, it's about a pound. I mean, it weighs more than most little set-top boxes because there's little weights on the inside of it. So, yeah. The reason why it has weights on the inside of it is because, like I said, if it didn't, this thing would probably weigh less than a pound, like a few ounces. Because all it is an Android, like, motherboard on the inside, like, a really small motherboard, like that big. And a fan, of course. But it doesn't weigh that much. So, basically, the cables would be pulling it back. It does kind of do that, but with the weights, it kind of stays. Unless you push it, it could easily be pulled. And it can also flip over. Well, it really can't flip over, basically. That's what it also does. So if you try to flip it over, it kind of does that, or just kind of like scrapes it a little bit, you know. But, yeah. So the console itself, well, gosh. You can probably see there's the Ouya logo right here. I have to use a light because if I don't, this is how dark it is. It's that dark, you can't see anything. So it's either that or nothing. So basically, I'll just keep it like this. But as you can see, there's the Ouya logo on the front, and not really much else. On the left, this is the right side, and on the left side, you see there's nothing there, just the plastic, like metal finish. And at the back, you see there's like there's the AC adapter, the micro SD card, the Ethernet port, HDMI port, and a USB 2.0 port. On the top, we have the, this is the power button. When it turns on, it like lights up with like the little Ouya logo, like it's an O with a U look thing on the inside. And of course, you see the 4 hexagonal, or no, yeah, hexagonal screws. Don't know why they chose that. This thing's supposed to be easily moddable, but they chose hexagonal for some reason. And here's the bottom, like, and there's a vent. And this thing does not really get that much ventilation, by the way. Like, somebody made a mod where it's raised up, but you see, their fan's like on this side, and basically it just barely any air gets out of it. It is an ARM-based CPU, or an ARM-based motherboard anyway, so it doesn't get that hot. It's like based off a mobile phone, so it must be cool and use a lot less energy. But as you can see, there's like the information and all little warning labels and everything else. Now here's the controller. I'm not going to go into much detail because, like I said, there was a controller review I just did before. So yeah, I'm not going to even talk about it, okay? Some information about this thing. I guess text, or the specs about it. Yeah, the specs. Anyways, it's running a custom version of Android 4.1 Jelly Bean. It's not like the Mad Catz Mojo, which is just straight up Android. This is a version, like this is a custom version, kind of like they have Mac OS or OS X is basically a custom version of Unix. This is the same thing pretty much with this, except it's way different than Android. It has 8 gigabytes of internal flash memory. They did make a 16 gigabyte model, and they still have not at all put it back into production. I guess they're trying to keep it at $99. I mean, I wish I would have got a 16 gigabyte model because it came with a better controller. They could at least sell the better controller, but that's besides the point. Oh yeah, that 8 gigabytes does not sound like a lot, but the good thing is, besides this, with other set-top box things, you can actually expand the memory with this and get I have a USB 2.0 hub right here, which it turns into 4 of them, and I have a flash drive that's 16 gigabytes. You need to get a hard drive though. You can use terabyte hard drives if you want to. It has a Tegra 3 GPU. It's actually called a system on a chip, but it's basically the GPU. And 1.7 gigahertz quad core ARM CPU, and it uses DDR3 SD RAM. So yeah, this is how I use it. See, there's a 4-port USB 2.0 hub. So yeah, that's just how I'm using it. So that's what I meant. See the power logo right there? Yeah, that's what it looks like. That's what also what the home menu on the controller looks like. So yeah.